Hey listeners, check out our new podcast, Women in Whiskey, Stop Mansplaining Me. In this podcast, we talk to some of the trailblazing women of the whiskey industry. New episodes drop every other Friday, so subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode. And once a month, we host a special live tasting with the women behind the bottles we sample. Go to columbuscraftcocktailtour.com for dates and tickets. On this episode of If This Bar Could Talk, we welcome PJ Ford back to the show as our guest host.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me, Eric.
Welcome to If This Bar Could Talk, a podcast about bartenders and the stories they have to tell, as well as the storied history of cocktails, spirits, and bars.
Hello, I'm PJ Ford, and I have a great host or guest here. I'm the host. I have a great host here, and I have a great guest here who's joining Blair and I at This Bar Could Talk. We have Sarah Oppelt.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Honored.
I think it's nice having you here. I think, how long have you been bartending, actually? Because I feel like it's been I think I met you 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. I started bartending in July of 2017. So it took me until I was 29 to find what I was supposed to do with my life. I kind of had a sneaking suspicion that hospitality was my calling, but I don't think I would love it as much if I hadn't worn other hats and realized that they didn't fit, And then I met you at Maker's Mark Beefsteak Dinner 2018, and that was so fun.
The best dinner I've ever had. Ripping into meat.
You and Sella had the best hat names. That was a good night.
Yeah, that was a great night.
And then I didn't know who you were, though. And then I got you on Instagram, and I was like, oh, holy shit, this dude's for real, for real. Because Chris Senni was my first person I'd met and my foray into craft cocktails. I didn't know what a craft cocktail competition was until he and Kate did Espelon in 2018. Because I worked with him briefly, and he was like, oh yeah, we did this competition. He showed me pictures and videos, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? This is the coolest, nerdiest thing I've ever seen.
And is that the one you won? 2018?
Yeah, I think that was the one Jill and I did.
You guys won that?
Yeah.
Oh, word.
We went to the
Makes sense.
finals in New York, which was sweet.
Oh, I believe it. I'm not surprised at all. But then that got my interest peaked. And then it was shortly before he took on the bar manager position at Wolf's Ridge that he invited me and Brian to the beefsteak dinner. And that's when we met you and Sella. We were all sitting together. That was a lot of fun. And it's crazy to think how much has changed in those 2 years.
I know.
Yeah.
Too much.
I know.
Too much too quickly.
I know.
You were at 16-bit, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately. Man, we're going to dig up a lot of dirt today. All right.
Oh, there's nothing of a surprise, Volume Bar.
But they have a somewhat inventive kind of cocktail list, don't they?
No,
it's not
for the love of God, no.
It's not a straight up just shots and beers and stuff.
I wish it was.
One or the other.
I have Jackie Mitchell was a dear friend of mine. Years. I've known her for years. And she was my GM. She was the first person to put me behind a bar. I had been asking for the last couple jobs. And you would think, oh, you're a woman, it's not hard. It's still hard because people expect you to have this in utero knowledge of how to pour drinks and how to how to make drinks, how to dance behind a bar. And and I wouldn't give up. I was like, somebody's gonna put me back there. Someone's gonna teach me how to do this, and I'm gonna run with it. And so for a while, it was like, whose dick do I have to suck to get a fucking training shift, And I had cocktail served it at 16-bit for about a month. And when she saw my numbers, I only had to ask once. I was like, yo.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, teach me how to pour, please. I don't expect shifts. I just got here. I'm sure there's other people who have asked. I just want to learn because I'm very intrigued. And I spend all my time learning shitty recipes like birthday cake shots. I was studying this stuff because I was like, I want to fucking do this, I'm 29. I need some direction. And she put me back there, and my first training shift was a breeze. And after that, it was okay, you work the slow shifts and, the shifts where you have to mop the entire bar because I was only a couple days a week. And then eventually I worked my way up to the money shifts. And if there's one thing volume bartending taught me how to do, I can work with a red tip spoon. Okay, it's not ideal, but I can make that fucker dance, right? And not
And by
you know,
red tip spoon, you mean like the
Yeah.
stirring spoon,
yeah. The ones that
the ones with the red tip.
yeah, you know, they're not the
Like
best, but
the 50-cent spoon.
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't look cool.
And
Not gonna turn heads.
you know, and I learned how to multitask like a motherfucker, and I hate cutting people off, but I can do it well and professionally. I can shit
I
on
believe
anyone.
that.
Yeah, I can shit on anyone who tries to sexually harass me. It's not a problem. I will embarrass you for even saying it. And so taking my volume experience and then going into craft, I feel really fortunate that was my path so far. So yeah, I was there for 3 years. And then, you know, obviously when shutdown happened, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm cool. I'm not coming back.
Yeah. So like, what was your initial like segue into cocktails? Like when you first started like learning about cocktails, like which ones were you like most excited about? Like you wanted to get home to try? Was it like a certain spirit or a certain style or like a certain whatever? Or like,
Yeah, no, I've always had a torrid love affair with gin. It was the only spirit I ever liked back when I was much younger. And I have kind of an awkward story. Like I didn't drink for about like 10 years. Like I had a really bad drug problem when I was in my early 20s when I was in college. So I got myself together, and for about 6 years I like was totally straight laced. I just stayed away from everything, dealt with my mental health issues, got my shit together. And alcohol was never a problem for me. I just figured, okay, I'm going to chalk it up with all mind altering substances. I'm just going to stay clean for a while. And then once I got married and, you know, settled into who I am and was more confident, had healthier coping habits, and eventually found my way back into the service industry. After about a few months of bartending, I was like, you know, I kind of want to like try this shit, you know. And I love drinking. It's fun. And I don't do it to escape or to numb myself at all, because that's what I was like in my 20s. In my 30s, it's like, this is educational. I literally take notes when I try a new bottle of anything, even nothing fancy. I just have found that I trust my palate, and I keep these notes because when I want to craft later or if I want to enter a competition, I'm going to use these as my weapons, you know. So I finally found what I feel like I've been looking for my whole life, and I'd rather find it late than never at all. So that didn't really answer your question. First cocktails I learned how to make, you know, like a Manhattan, an old fashioned margarita. And I was already kind of fixated on how can I make this the best possible. I hadn't read any books yet though. Like it was just mainly I would watch videos or read like blog articles.
And that was when you were still at 16-bit?
Yeah. Okay. Because I worked with a lot of talented bartenders, people who had been bartending for years and who I think were just at that point where a few of them came from barrel, you know. So they had experience and they took me under their wing and taught me a lot. Shay Zinn, Ryan Murray, Jess Michos, they all had some years under their belt. So like they were teaching me tricks of the trade. And I was so grateful, you know. And then because I always felt like I swear to God, I'm not a charlatan. Like, I just really want to learn, you know? And they weren't assholes about it. And they're still friends of mine to this day. But, you know, I quickly noticed once I started learning more that a lot of the things we had back there were not ideal. And when I finally learned that vermouth goes in the fridge, I was mortified that people weren't refrigerating the vermouth. And I wondered why Koki tasted like copper. And, it was offensive, you know, so I started trying to get people to refrigerate the vermouth, and some people listened to me and some didn't. I put labels on the like, hey, put this in the fridge when we close.
People
and they
don't
wouldn't
read.
They wouldn't listen to me. And I was like, okay, all right, you know, just want quality here. But
all right, then you like go through your like trials and tribulations, and you're now like killing it with like these really inventive cocktails.
Oh, thanks.
Like I liked your the last one you posted with like you had like the tangerine dust on it, which was like, super cool.
I'm very, very proud of this drink. I'm making it for you later.
How
awesome.
Yes.
That's Bay.
How do you go about like finding your source of inspiration and like finding that, like, is it like through just eating things, seeing something else and being like, that looks cool, and then taking that idea and making your own? Or are you just like, it's just like No. Oh, let's fuck around with that and like see how that goes.
A, I could ask you that 100 times over. B, I didn't get a chance to fillet you and tell you that I'm very honored that you asked me to be your guest because I admire you and you're wonderful,
Thank
PJ.
you.
And I love the show.
Well,
I love
mutual.
you guys.
It's all mutual.
That's a big deal to me. I'm not going to get over this anytime soon. With ideas, it depends. So, I've always had a weird fetish for produce items like veggies, fruit. I would see something that I thought looked interesting, and then I would want to study it, find out what it tastes like, how it's used, how it's prepared, common uses for it, and so on. Other times, like if it's like, here's a spirit, do something with it and be creative with it. I'll read about the tasting notes and then I'll kind of go down the list and I'll make I always make a flavor matrix for everything. I look insane. Like I have this notebook. Everything starts on paper, usually around 4 a.m. on my bed when I'm really drunk. I have my laptop and my Bluetooth mouse, and then I have my notebook and my pen, and I have to underline things over and over again. So I'm like, so drunk Sarah can communicate with sober Sarah and tell her, this was a good idea. Let's rock,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's I like to draw it out, and I have my little like columns, like these are flavors that are complementary. These are flavors that could be complementary. And
do you just do that like throughout like your own like archive in your mouth, or do you just do like the flavor Bible, or like do you use like certain things to like?
It's both, actually.
Both? Okay.
Yeah. It's what I glean from something when I taste it. I go, this tastes like, and usually like my husband and I like to roast everything, like not cooking wise. I guess you could say that too. But like we'll make fun of something, or we'll say something like, we're always just like, oh, this motherfucker looks like blah, blah, blah. Or like, what the hell is this? It tastes like, but that's my mind. That's how I pinpoint things. So that's why I like Malort, because to me it tastes like things that people don't see. They say tire fire. I don't, you know? So I will taste something. My immediate reaction is, this is what it tastes like to me. Now I have a direction to go in. If it tastes like, if it smells like mint, like Braulio, for example, the Amaro, to me, it smells like spearmint. It tastes like spearmint. So that's a direction I will go, and I will see if I take flavors that I know go well with spearmint, if that's going to work, if that's going to make Braulio really sing, if Braulio is going to hide because maybe it's too much. Like, that's the fun. I use the Flavor Bible. I absolutely worship that book. No pun intended, I guess. I mean, it sits on my bedside table.
Yeah.
I also have the Flavor Matrix.
That's my shit right there.
Fucking love that. I fucking love that book.
Life, man.
Yes.
So good.
Wait till you see the spring menu for Progrumount. I already wrote it. I'm insane. This is all I do. I've already written a spring spec.
Nice.
For the bar. Because of the Flavor Matrix, it gave me some things that I was very inspired by.
Now, was the Flavor Matrix what you were using when we first met you?
No, I initially was with the Flavor Bible. And I think that's everyone's kind of like go-to.
Love it so much.
And it's great, you know, it lists like bananas, and it lists everything that goes with bananas, and then like things that are bold are better pairs than things that are bold and capitalized or even better pairs. And if they're like, they have like exclamation stars. So they have stars next to them, and then they're bold and capitalized, and it's like the best pairing. Flavor Matrix, I think I just discovered last year.
I just got it a couple months ago. Yeah.
It's awesome. So it'll be like plum fruits. It'll be like pears and apples and stuff like that. And then it'll list everything in a circle around the main fruit.
And this is a book that we can buy.
And there's recipes in it.
There's recipes in it. Yeah.
We can be evil and channel it for our own means, but
because Flavor Bible is also pretty much cook driven. But Flavor Matrix is like blew my mind. It's so useful. It will give you like all the odd pairings too, like things that are like,
that's my favorite, obviously, because I'm a fucking pervert. That's my favorite category is surprising pairings. And I have a notebook I use Evernote on my phone and my computer. That's where I write my specs. That's where I have kept a diary since shutdown called the Quarantimes.
Nice.
Every fucking day. We are on day 214, I think, now.
Oh,
just in case you're wondering.
I wasn't, but thank you.
Yeah, since March 15th.
Me how many days I've wasted this past 214 days.
Now you know. And said notebook, I have a Flavor Matrix book where I take a spirit, because I'm not too far into it yet. I have a lot of bookmarks. I get really sidetracked, so I got to take notes. But I will take any spirit that I see mentioned in multiple matrices based on which ingredient we're talking about, which family it's from. I still don't have them memorized because it's a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
So I'm still wrapping my head around it. But I will write down like, oh, this is supposed to go with this. And sometimes I'll put, I don't know why, but let's find out. Like, I'm curious.
Yeah.
But they tackle flavor pairings on the chemical basis of it. Like, why? We don't know. But for some reason, this is why.
Yeah.
And that's very intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really cool. So if
I love that book.
you ever need, I hope they're paying us for this awesome advertisement
They ought to
that we're
be.
getting.
Or, hey, guys, go get you a copy and we'll see who makes the best and most insane drink,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll all cheer for each other because that's how we do it,
So you use also like a lot of like Asian influence in
Yeah.
your stuff. Like, where does that come from?
I'm like a super big weeaboo. Like, I'm like hella obsessed with like Japanese culture, even Korean culture, Chinese culture. Part of it is probably I have a lot of friends in Japan, Taiwan, Korea that I've met over the years when I used to play fighting games competitively. So they would travel here for a
Video
tournament.
games.
Yeah, video games. And they would travel here. And we would always talk about food, drink, and flavor. And then, of course, I love anime. Food Wars is my favorite. That anime really, like, changed my life. So much so I got a tattoo from it, of course. And a lot of it is also and everyone's going to roll their eyes when I say this, but, the Yakuza series. It's a video game series from Sega, and that series changed my entire life. It inspired me in so many ways. A lot of it has a lot to do with service industry. There's always a bar in every game. That's your safe haven. There's always a female purveyor or male, and they're like the person you check in with, and they're your most trusted person.
Well, that's how I feel.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah.
The soundtracks kick fucking ass. Like the original games, like the first like 6, 7, whatever, I beat those all in 2019. Like right before I got into cocktails, it was like I played the entire Yakuza series, and each game takes like 40 to 60 hours to beat. It's a very beautiful game with a lot of story, a lot of fighting, so on. And I just crushed each game, and I got so inspired by a lot of the food and flavors that were in the games. And then, and I'm Middle Eastern, so like, there's always been this kind of joke that like Middle Eastern people have a thing for like Chinese food, and that's true because a lot of times for the holidays we would always get Chinese food. So spice, flavor, and exotic like produce items, and by exotic I mean like not your standard American fare, just like bok choy, things that I grew up with that I love the flavor and I like to channel it in my drinks. Like my husband always makes fun of me and says I love the taste of mud, but I like alfalfa sprouts, I like broccoli sprouts, I like rum agricole, like fucking I'd eat grass, I guess, if you could, because I just love vegetal earthy flavors. So I get a lot out of that because I like seeing it's not terribly different from like Lebanese cuisine.
You are Lebanese?
Yes, I'm full-blooded.
All right, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. My mom's from there and my dad's from here, but he's first gen. So like full-blooded, just born and raised in Ohio. And watching my mom grow up, the irony and the sad part is like I was not interested in cooking until like probably last year. Once I got into cocktails and I saw the culinary influence and how it could really elevate your work, then I started getting into cooking. But I, grew up with a lot of really delicious meals. And so I think these flavors in my head had remained. So like a lot of times to me, a tomato can be sweet or it can be sour. I think we all feel that way. But then I like to go, okay, well, how am I going to use this tomato?
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's like being the conductor of an orchestra, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's on first fiddle and whatnot.
Do you pull a lot from your Lebanese background too?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I see like tons of like Asian influence in your
Yeah,
cocktails
yeah.
and stuff too.
There's a lot of similarities. What I love about Lebanese food and Mediterranean food as a whole, in conjunction with like Japanese and the Asian influence in my work, is we all love botanicals. We love herbs. We like to smell shit, And I always joke, I'm creepy and I like to smell people, and I do. And I love herbs, right? Like my absolute favorite gin now and probably forever for the rest of my life will probably be Roku gin. I love botanicals so much. They tell me so much, and I get to write the story myself, but it's like a nonstop muse. So in Lebanese cooking, we use a lot of herbs. And mostly it's for aromatic. It's almost like there are bitters to the meal because it's not based on that. That's just supposed to heighten it. Like I remember my mom would always throw in bay leaves in any tomato-based dish when she would cook meals. And whenever we would have like normal people over, just like kids who are like super white and they like aren't used to that kind of cuisine, they'd be like, why is there a leaf in my food? And we're just like, it's for flavor. But you know, I think I draw on that. Yeah, I draw on that from my mom for sure. Like she gets hammered off one drink. So I can get her opinion for about 30 seconds before she's drunk. And my parents don't really drink, but they do appreciate what I do, which is cool.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, with all this talk of smelling and drinking,
let's pee.
Let's get smelling and drinking your cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Already?
Let's
fucking go.
And we're back. It's been 6 days, and we now have the Boulevardier of Broken Dreams. Cheers.
Cheers. Clink,
So-
clink, clink, clink.
So what do we got? Like what's in our drinks?
Daddy
What's in our
brought
mouth?
you some Wild Turkey 101 rye, which is my favorite rye as of late, and tangerine infused Campari because, and I'm about to offend a lot of people, I don't fucking like Campari. I like Aperol better, but I wanted to take it upon myself to make Campari tastier for my palate. So tangerines being a winter fruit, and this is on the winter menu at Pierogi Mountain. I wanted to take tangerines, and I thought, they would kind of soft that tannic aftertaste that I get from Campari. And they do. And, Cokie Americano, it's fine. A Martini and Rossi's sweet vermouth, I actually don't hate it. It's fine. But, right now with COVID and everything, and COVID sucks, and our margins aren't as fat as they would normally be. At Pierogi Mountain, when I create drinks for their menu, I want to make stuff that I know can be as vegan as possible. So obviously that counts Campari out, but you know what? Yell at them, not me. To me, a Boulevardier is a nice, stiff, spirit-forward drink that's nice for sipping in the winter. So like I said, I use the tangerine in the Campari because tangerine is a winter fruit. And for me, Cruzan Blackstrap, I fell in love with this rum over the summer. And to me, it tastes like chocolate. So I thought tangerines and chocolate, that sounds pretty sexual. So I took, it was 4 a.m. drunk Sarah with the notebook, flavor matrix, flavor Bible, and the laptop. And I came up with this idea. I was like, is there a way to do a rum reduction? If I really dialed up the flavor on the Blackstrap, which is already a bully. But, good vermouths are usually bullies. We all love Carpano Antica. And I didn't see fit to tell my boss, hey, I need you to spend way more on one bottle of something, vermouth, that even in the fridge will start to lose its taste and its, usability after a month. I couldn't do that to us right now. We're just trying to survive. So I thought, is there a way that I can make something that stands in for vermouth, is even boozier than vermouth, and it's not going to go bad after a month? So I was drunk and I came up with this idea for a Blackstrap rum reduction. And I was so excited about it. And I told my husband about it, and he was like, I mean, cool. Totally, just try, So, and I have a liter of Blackstrap always, because it's cheap and it just hangs out. So I was really excited, and I had my little Puma slippers on, and I was like, all right, let's fucking reduce this shit. Now, I'm going to warn y'all, when you do an 80 proof reduction, you do not want it to boil for very long. I think I had it boiling for about 90 seconds, and it was on medium high. And once it started to sizzle, I was like, all right, cool, we're good. Like, I'm going to set it aside. So I took it off the heat, and then the blue flames just bounced up. And I was a little tipsy, so I was like laughing, was like, okay, this can't happen. So I blew on it, and a little bit of it landed on my kitchen rug. And then I stomped it out. So I almost set my house on fire, but I did achieve the rum reduction. Then I was, when it cooled and I tried it, I was like, holy shit, this actually worked. Like, it's good. And for being able to stretch that dollar for how cheap Cruzan Blackstrap is and what a great rum it is, I was like, this really did what I wanted. And I can't fucking believe it. Like, I kind of teared up. I got real emotional that like this worked. So I added a little of this and a little bit of that, and used some stuff that at the bar that once we use up a certain product, you would typically throw this away. Well, I took it home with me, and I was like, I'm going to figure out a way to take what would be waste, and I'm going to use it, and we're going to be able to sell it, and it worked.
Well, I have to say, like, already Negroni Boulevardier, top 10 cocktails for me.
Facts.
Top 5
So,
for me,
yes.
So,
Yes.
and this is a great version of it. I'm going to ask you 2
Cool.
questions. One,
Please.
how is Campari not vegan? Like, what does that mean?
From what I understand, the bug shells that they use to color the Campari to give it that beautiful red, a lot of vegans, and I'm not vegan, but I respect it, and I work for a very vegan-forward bar and restaurant.
Okay.
So I like to take into account the vast majority of my clientele. Because they get their color from bug shells, a lot of vegans may not see that. As
Same
part
thing with Parmigiano Reggiano.
Yeah,
Not vegan because they use rennet.
exactly.
So, okay, got it.
Like all the cheese we use at Prairie Mountain, the vegan cheese we use, none of it comes from dairy. None of it is an animal byproduct. One of the owners is vegan. Crazy thing is, I worked for him for 2 months before I realized he was vegan. He never told me. I just asked him one day, I was like, why is it that 4 days a week I'm practically vegan because the only food I eat here is the vegan food? Because, again, I'm an omnivore, but the vegan food at Prairie Mountain is so fucking good.
Yeah,
I choose it over meat and dairy every time, which is crazy. And he was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm vegan, so, like, it's kind of a passion of mine. I was like, you're vegan? Like, he didn't tell me that, And so one of the things that I love is that they give me carte blanche with the cocktail menu. Joshua, who is my coworker, he's the unofficial bar manager. He does all the ordering, and he lets me weigh in on a lot, which is awesome. He'll do a couple drinks for the menu, and then I'll do a couple. So it's not all on me to come up with a menu, although I wouldn't mind. I like that I'm not the only one doing it because I don't want to monopolize it. When we did the fall menu, I came up with the idea of a pumpkin spice White Russian because I love a White Russian. And I was like, now here's the challenge. It needs to be vegan. Like, I want to make a creamy vegan drink. Is it possible? And we did.
What do you use?
Okay, so originally I do a pumpkin puree infusion with rum. Because I like it with rum. Pumpkin and rum. Rumkin. It's nice. The shirt I'm wearing now, on Thursday, I was doing prep behind the bar, and I got puree all over my shirt. It stained my shirt. It took me 3 days and 5 washes to get it out. Bleach, Kiss Off, OxyClean, everything. And then I was very proud that I got the stain out, so I wore the shirt today. And don't wear a white shirt when you're behind the bar, ever.
Yeah, not the hard way.
Ever. I was like pressed for time, and I just grabbed something clean and threw it on. We were using Califia Farms vanilla almond creamer, which I love. Fantastic. It's a little pricey for a bar. But at the time, they were just like, it's fine, just use it. And then we were using Tazo tea, black concentrate, and then the infusion. And then I had looked online and I read blogs, and they said that all these ingredients were vegan. So even the puree and everything, how we make it, like, completely vegan. Because we have a lot of vegan tools back there. Then we came to find out that the Tazo tea concentrate actually had honey in it. And I was like really upset and embarrassed because I thought I did my homework. And Joshua actually came up with a chai and what's it called? Rum chata, horchata, sorry. Like chai horchata, faba mix instead of the creamer. And then we brew the tea ourselves. So there's nothing in it besides just the tea. And I don't know, he kind of took that project on during his shifts, and he turned out an amazing mix that I love so much. And granted, you know, all of us in the room probably like stuff on the less sweet side. So to me, it's perfect the way it is. But when I would make it for a customer, I knew there wasn't enough sugar and you needed a little more balance. So you squirt some turbinado syrup in there and it's perfect. Some 1-to-1. It's ideal. And then you sprinkle nutmeg on. So that drink was a fall menu drink. It's staying on because it sells. And I'm happy to do it. And I've had plenty of vegan people tell me like they love that we have a creamy vegan drink. And I'm like, fuck yeah, cool. And then in addition to the Boulevardier of Broken Dreams on the winter menu.
Such a great name.
I know. I was drunk and I came up with it. I was like, good job, Sarah. That's funny. You're an idiot. And if you go to my Instagram, I made the video. And I green screened it in to look like the Green Day video.
Right.
I actually like took my hair and like combed it forward. I haven't done that since high school. And I put on like really dark eyeliner and Brian just kept laughing at me while he was filming. And this is great.
So how did you, is the reduction just straight rum reduced? That's it? And then like.
Just throw it in a now when I'm doing it in bulk, because when I first did it, I took 8 ounces of rum and my goal was to reduce it by 25%. Okay. But because I almost lit my house on fire, it went a little less. Yeah, it was like a 30% reduction, which is fine. I threw it in a pot and I put it on like medium low to really let it slowly warm up so it doesn't catch on fire. And then once it's warm and a little bubbly, I just take it off the heat and let it sit, measure it out. It's usually right about there. And then when I add in everything else, it actually will still fill a liter. So it's cool. It'll last a while, and I think it's a lovely taste. I'm very proud of this drink. Thank you.
How do you usually go about like your infusions? Are you like more like a sous vide person where you use like
because
the water
I'm
bath?
wondering about the tangerine.
Okay. I'm so
Campari
excited
thing.
that you asked. I did some homework on this one. Normally, a sous vide is one of my absolute favorite ways to infuse. I bought a sous vide months ago. Never once used it for cooking. It has only been a cocktail utensil.
I've only used it for cocktails too.
I fucking love my sous vide so much. I use it almost every week. For this one, so I had read a Punch article. I'm a big fan of Punch drink, subscribe to them. So I get a newsletter every day. And they had, and some things I read it and I'm like, all right, bet. And I like forget about it. And then some of them really jump out at me. And so then I go down the rabbit hole of like, link clicking and reading and obsessing. And when they had talked about jacking, the method for infusion, how they made like Applejack, I think does it too. It's like where I might be paraphrasing and I might be wrong. I'm a little tipsy, but it was like you freeze the fruit and then you introduce it at room temperature to the spirit. And because it's cold, for equilibrium to happen, it happens faster because you're going from extreme to like neutral. Something along those lines. So my original plan was tangerines themselves. And I hadn't had tangerines in a million years. So when I bought them, and I was like, oh, every goddamn one has at least 3 seeds in it. And they're very delicate. Once you cut through that membrane of the skin, like you lose all the juice and all the pulp and everything. So I had talked to someone on Instagram that I'm a big fan of. Heavy Muddle is his name. His name is Brian. He lives in Texas, and he has a cocktail blog or a cocktail account, and he's fantastic, stupid, talented, brilliant, And I had been following him for a few months, and every other project he would post, I would be like, okay, you're fucking insane because I've actually been working on something like this. Like he did something with mustard. I lost my mind because I was coming up with a mustard kind of based drink, but I was gonna wait till spring for that one.
Oh.
Because winter was already full, huh?
He looks badass.
I'm
awesome. Looking him up right now.
Dude, I love him. Dude, he's so awesome. Brian, here you go, homie. He's so fucking cool. I forget how we got on the topic, but he and I were messaging, and I had asked him, I was like, so Campari's low proof, and I want to infuse it because, sorry, I hate Campari, but I want to make it good. So I want to make it so I like it. And he had said, like, okay, you could try... I think with jacking, you're supposed to flash freeze. I don't really have that ability right now. My boss was like, we could try and tweak the walk-in freezer to do it. And I was like, no. You have other shit in there. Like, I will figure it out. This is my cross to bear. So he and I had talked, and he was like throwing some ideas out at me, and I was like, okay, let me try this, and then I'll let you know. And he's been great. He like checked in with me and was like, how'd it work, you know? So I took the peels from the tangerines.
Okay.
I just peeled tangerines, as little pith as humanly possible. And the nice thing with tangerines is that's really easy. Cisco had accidentally given us mandarins a couple weeks ago, and I was really fucking pissed. Like, I was just like, what do you want me to do with these? These aren't going to work.
Pith.
Yeah, it's all pith. I was very pithed, and
Nice.
I still had a bag of tangerines that I had bought a couple days prior just for backup, because I'm, again, very neurotic and I'm obsessive about my craft. So I did the tangerines, you know, very easy to get them without pith. And then you freeze them. They don't take long. I give them about 6 hours in the freezer till they're very brittle. Then I throw them in a mason jar with the Campari at room temp. It takes like 12 hours. I just leave it overnight, and I'll like taste test it every couple hours. Mm-hmm. Usually by like, you know, if I do it at midnight, by noon, perfect. It still tastes like Campari, but it's a little sweeter, a little softer, and there isn't that weird aftertaste that I hate so much. Mm-hmm. And then I take the peels out and I dehydrate them in my toaster oven.
Which is the garnish.
Yes.
Yep.
Then grind them up into the zest, and that is the garnish. So it's really nice. And then we save the tangerines at Pierogi, and they'll use them for a special here and there, like on a salad. The salad at Pierogi is awesome. Like, all the greens are delicious, and they'll throw a lot of extra shit in there. So they'll do like a tangerine salad here and there.
So I'll tell you my secret.
Yes.
Because I love Campari, but agree with you that it's a little rough.
It is.
So what I do for my Negroni and Boulevardier is half and half with Aperol, and then some Fee Brothers orange bitters.
Yes.
Okay.
So that helps bring out that citrus that you're doing.
Yeah.
And
so the East Indian orange bitters, is that the one? Fee Brothers? I think that's the one.
I think so, yeah.
I love those bitters so much. Little less. They kind of have, like, because Gary's number 6 has a little bit of tannic taste to the end. It's more bitter than the Fees.
Right.
They're both fantastic, just depending on what flavor you want to use. But that's brilliant. Like, when I make a Negroni at home, it's mostly gin, a little bit of Aperol, a little bit of vermouth, soda. You can get mad. I don't fucking care. It's my Negroni.
No, exactly. And that's what I do at home.
Yeah.
So how long have you been at Pierogi Mountain now?
Started in August, when the new location opened on Grant in place of the old grass skirt, which, speaking of, I did develop a tiki drink for us as an homage.
Oh, nice.
The grass skirt was awesome. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, it was.
So good.
Never drank there because that was during my years where I was in college and I was just trying to grind. But I would get pad thai all the time there. The food was awesome.
Yeah.
This one is shout out to Jared Camden from Bacardi. He hooked us up with some mugs. We're doing ourselves a disservice if we don't have a nice little tiki drink on there. So
yeah,
it is the burlap shorts. That's the name of it. Because grass skirt, burlap shorts. Haha.
Nice.
Wait till you see the spring one. I already got it. And this one is some Coco Lopez. I use Bacardi Ocho as the main spirit, and then we split base the supporting characters with Watershed Apple Brandy, because everyone knows my now lifelong love of that shit, and yuzu liqueur, because I love yuzu. To me, it's a very nice winter citrus, and then a citric apricot syrup that I just make in house, which is real nice.
Do you make the liqueur?
No, it's the Marie Brizard.
Oh, really?
Which I love.
I didn't know they made a yuzu liqueur.
They do.
Oh,
and you have to refrigerate it after you open it.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, because then the drink is like extra cold for not much effort. And it's lovely. It's garnished with a big fat mint sprig and some coconut flakes. And that all started because it was going to be powdered sugar. And I wanted it to look like snow on a pine tree. It's just corny. Because I hate winter and I hate Christmas. But, you know, whatever. I'm trying to sell this shit. And my boss was like, I have like a ton of coconut flakes. Can you do something with that? And I was like, you know what? I absolutely can. So it's a nice drink. I'm proud of it. And for a layered tiki drink, it is only 4 touches. I was able to batch it up pretty well.
Right.
And yeah, it's good. Like I'm proud of it. Everyone I work with likes it, so that's a big deal because not all of them are discerning drinkers.
So with your experience from like high volume bars to now cocktail bars to now like bar restaurants, like what are your stories? You gotta have some like
you've got to have some good stories.
Some good stories. Like
and
now,
you were wanting to bring out like the raunchy stuff. So what are some of your stories that have really rung out and like stuck to you through the years?
I mean, this one's not going to be too polarizing, but off the top of my head, shortly before shutdown, I want to say, well, here's a couple. I want to say it was right after New Year's of this year, before everything went to shit. And my husband and I were bartending on a Saturday night at 16-bit, so it was pretty wild. Money was good, everything was cool, moods were fine, and these fucking dickheads show up. These it's a group of like, some of them are like, all right, I'm gonna put it this way, they're doctors, and you could tell they're doctors, right? So there were a couple of them,
The rowdy kind.
The rowdy doctors. Yeah. So there were a couple where I'm looking at Brian and I'm like, I mean, I would spite fuck a couple of them, but like, let's see how well they tip. If it's like 35, 40%, like you could get it, So they come in. At first, they're very sweet, just, hey, they're having fun. I think it was a bachelor party or it was a birthday party. I'm sorry. It was a birthday party. So they're having fun. I'm like, whatever. Even when I'm pissy and I'm like kind of being, just a miser, and not even a miser. I'm annoyed and I have every fucking right to be. I'm still like, I want you to have a good time, and obviously this still stands, but pre-COVID, there were a lot less rules. So this group of guys is like, they're drinking, they're annoying. They didn't say anything sexually inappropriate to me, but I knew it was on the horizon. I knew one of them was going to say something fucking gross. Yeah. And I was about to be like, and usually when I worked in volume, if somebody said something gross to me, I would repeat it really fucking loud and be like, is that really what you wanted to have just said to me? I'm at fucking work. Who do you think you are? It's one of those.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, don't talk to me like that. Like, I might be a serf and a peon to you, but like, I don't know. I like what I do for a living and I don't work half as hard as you do. So like, you can fucking eat my ass. So these dudes, they do a round of shots. They're having fun. I'm like, cool, thanks, whatever. Your tab's fat. So like, cool. I'm hoping you walk out and not close out because then I can auto-grat you 20%. So I'm guaranteed 20%, That's what I love that game where it was like, I would just open you a tab because you didn't tell me to close it. And like, we're just going to leave that shit open. Not my problem. Learn how to drink, But then one of these fuckers pulled out a ping pong ball and he bounced it on the bar. And I was like, and I look at him and I'm just like glaring at him. And my husband, I love my husband. He's the best. He walks up and he goes, how fucking old are you? He catches the ball. He's like, fucking learn how to behave. And the guy was like,
hell yeah. The
guy was so mad. And Brian walks away and I was like, yeah, go. I'll deal with the rest of it. But you landed your shit. I love you, And so Brian walks away and the guy looks at me and I start batting my eyes, and he's just like, he can't talk to us like that. We're doctors. And I was like, okay, so learn how to behave.
Yeah.
And he was like, he was rude. And I was like, you're bouncing a ball on my bar. And if it knocks anything over, I have to clean that up. Do you really want me to clean that up? Are you really going to do that to me? And he's like, no, it's just like, he embarrassed us. And I was like, it's fine. We're not going to think about it later. So maybe just don't do that. Okay?
Yeah.
And he was just like, whatever. He goes, you know what? I want to donate to the cause. And like, we had a pinball machine and a change machine. God, I don't miss that place at all. And he dropped $5 worth of quarters on the bar. I was like, I need to donate to the cause because he's trying to be disrespectful. So I turned around, I grabbed the tip jar. It was a clear glass thing from IKEA. And I just scooped all the quarters in. And I was like, hey, money spends no matter what. I don't give a fuck. Thank you so much. And then like, he's just like, and I was like, so go, your party's back there. I don't care. Get out of my face. Yeah. They did walk out on their tab, so that was nice. So we were able to make our tips because they weren't happy that we told them what's what.
Did you like auto-grab them 40% because the ping pong ball did damage to the bar?
God, I would have loved that. But I worked at a corporate shithole. So another one, the weekend before shutdown. I worked Friday the 13th in March. That was the last day I worked there.
Yeah.
And like, I only stayed as long as I did because I had like just kind of a loyalty to my coworkers. Like, it was like, I was just such good friends with management. I was like, I love you guys so much. Not that I'm like the second coming or anything, but it's like, I work really hard. And if I love you and you have any kind of loyalty for me, I'm going to do everything for you. So like, I'm going to come in and count merch for you. I'm going to do inventory for you because I know you're overwhelmed. I get paid. I would rather have a day off, but like, I just believe that good people are hard to find these days. And, you know, I just want to help. You know, if I have a day off and I have no plans, it's like, yeah, I can come in for $10 an hour minus taxes and count t-shirts for you if it's going to make your life easier because I know you fucking live here, you know? So it was it was that Friday. It was right before shutdown. And, cause I worked the following day somewhere else. And, I clock in 10 minutes into my shift. This big fucking old man, red face. Like, I could tell he's hammered. You know, he walks up to the bar. He's standing in the service well. So immediately I'm like, I want to kill you. Because there's a sign that says servers only.
Yeah.
And I was
Don't
like, you can't order there. And I'm like, not even nice anymore at this point. I'm just like, you can't order there. And he just like walks 1 foot to the side and he's like, so what are you serving besides yourself?
Ugh.
And I was like, you're a fucking pig. And I just said it really loud. And he was like, I was like, don't fucking talk to me that way. I'm at work. Who the fuck do you think you are? And he's just like, okay. And I was like, no, not okay. Don't ever speak to me or any woman like that again. Who the fuck do you think you are? And he just like, I wasn't even mad. I was just having a good time because I had just clocked in. So I was like, I have 9 hours of this, so, including, you know, clothes. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to fucking embarrass this guy because he looks like a pushover, you know. So he melts, he betas, you know. And he's just like, all right, I'll take a beer. Brian, my husband, immediately materializes at my side, like he teleports. And we both at the same time go, no, you're not. Get the fuck out. And then my boss, he was working door for a minute. He was like watching the door for somebody. He goes, I'm so sorry. He straight faced me. And we were like, it's fine. We can handle it. So he went to Little Palace, did the exact same thing. And there was a young woman behind the bar there and she kicked him out too.
Yeah.
It's like that's the kind of shit that was normal, you know?
I wonder how he even ever gets a drink if he's just constantly being kicked out of every single bar down the line.
That and like he's slurring his speech. Yeah. So it's like...
He's been on it for a while.
It is. I had a girl once threaten to spit in my face because I wouldn't give her a shot. And it was like, you're staring at the floor. Your eyes are glazed over. If I give you another shot, if I give you a straight shot of tequila like you asked, you're going to throw up everywhere. It's my job not to overserve.
Or fall on your face.
Yeah, which would be funny. But fuck you. You know? And I take my job seriously. And also it was like, this girl threatened to spit on me because I wouldn't give her a shot. And my coworker heard her saying it on the patio. So I came outside and just stood there and smiled at her and was like, you're going to spit in my face? That is the rudest thing I've ever heard. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I mean, you can't talk shit about me in front of my coworker and not expect him to tell me. Like, why? Like, just go. I don't want to fight with you. You've had a nice night. Why don't you go home, you know? And, one time we caught motherfuckers, they stole that can of tomato paste or tomato juice from Mikey's that they use as a pizza stand when they serve pizza. Someone fucking stole that can and brought it in 16-bit. Brian and I were both like, where'd you get that? And the guy goes, like a raffle? And we were like, no, you didn't. So we went.
That's from next door.
We grabbed the GM for Mikey's. Yeah, we were a Block family. So we were just like, yeah, they stole your can. And she was like, I knew it. Thank you for telling me. And then they were just like, what the fuck? We were like, you think we're not? Like, we're all bars on a block.
Looking out for each other. You know?
You're all drunk. We're looking out for each other. Why'd you steal that? That's so fucked up. Come on. You're rude. And then we were going to spend a lot of money here. And I was like, take your $100 and go somewhere else. We don't fucking care.
Were you and Brian married before you started working at 16-bit together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We met on Tinder.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. We had our first date at 16-bit solely because Lisa Clapp was bartending. I've known her for years. And one of his best friends at the time, Chelsea Garwacki, she was serving. So we were both just like, we swiped right on Tinder. It was a very organic conversation. Like, we were just bullshitting. And we both knew people who worked there. So it was like, I'm comfortable, meeting you at a bar. And I was a non-drinker at the time. So I was just like, Tinder was kind of my playground. Like I was like, I did like a 3 years of celibacy type thing. Well, 2 years celibacy, 3 years not dating. Because I knew that like relationships and men were like my biggest weakness. It was like, I knew to get my shit together, I had to kind of focus on me. And it sucked. It was not easy, but I knew to become like a self-actualized adult, I had to focus on what I needed to work on to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. So I wouldn't say I'm maladjusted. I just, very passionate person. Passion can be dangerous sometimes. Yeah. You meet somebody, you're really into them, and like you kind of lose yourself. So he was the first guy I'd met in almost 3 years where like it didn't feel like a lot of effort. We were just talking as if we were friends. And I was like, he's cute. Like, I definitely want to smash, but like, maybe I shouldn't do it on the first date. Just because maybe I want to get to know the guy a little before we get intimate, So we go there, and the date was like, I was at my parents' house doing laundry, and my dad and I were watching Slapshot. Fucking love that movie. And I was like, yes, I matched with this guy. Like, he seems really cool, and his grammar's on point. Like, I'm not talking autocorrect. I'm talking this motherfucker can structure a sentence, Yeah. And I'm like, he's really funny. I like him. But I'd been on Tinder for a couple of months, and it was like, you get all sprung over someone, then you meet them, and they're kind of whack. Or they're, I'm a woman, so they'll like fillet me and be like, you're so pretty. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I know that. What else? Like, talk to me. I'm a human, But Brian was just chill. So my parents were like, get out here. Go meet him. Like, if he sucks, move on. But you don't fucking bullshit. Just go. It was a Saturday night, and I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was working at a hospital, and I was printing T-shirts. So I had 1 day off a week, and I was very miserable, very unhappy, very overworked. And I was like, fuck it, fine, whatever, I go. And it was instant. Like, we were just bullshitting with each other, joking around. And I knew he was the one when he looked me in the eye and said I wasn't funny when I made a pun. Because any other guy would be like, you're fucking hilarious. And I'm like, I'm not going to fuck you. So, like, maybe tomorrow, but not tonight. But Brian was just like, you're not funny. And I was like, okay, what's up,
Tell it like it is.
It is. And we went to his house, and we played some Tekken, and we talked, and we were just hanging out. It was like I'd known him for years. And then after that was it. We were joined at the Dick ever since. And
oh, yeah.
That's a good bar story, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yes. We were just hanging out on the patio talking.
So what's that like being married and working in the industry? He's in the industry too, right?
Yes, he's a bartender as well.
Yeah,
and he also works at Prairie Mountain.
Yeah. Oh, so now you're working together.
We always work together.
Yeah.
We interviewed as a team, which is actually really funny. I'm not kidding. So Carl Deaver.
Like that scene in, what was it, Step Brothers?
In Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Like we're interviewing as a team.
Yeah.
That's me and my husband. So, Carl Deaver.
Yeah.
Love Carl. Fucking dear friend. And she's known Brian for years. I've known her actually less time, but I fucking love her. We check in with each other all the time. And she was doing consulting work for Charlie and Matt, the owners of Pierogi, because they were going from like having a kitchen at Bourbon Street to like, holy shit, we came across the old grass skirt. We can afford it. We can open our own bar and restaurant. We can have our own flagship because Bourbon can't open right now because it's a music venue. So they had asked Carl, like, hey, so like while you're helping us figure out how to, kind of arrange our bar, because they're kitchen guys, which is awesome, by the way. Working for people who actually worked on a line is awesome. They were just like, do you know anybody that's reliable, trustworthy, doesn't steal, doesn't fuck around, isn't a drama, like drama magnet? Like, we just want some professional adults. And Carl told them, yeah, I do, but they're a married couple. I hope that's cool with you. And they were just like, we don't care. So Matt and Charlie were like, we came in early August, met with them real quick. We had our masks on. We sat down. We handed them our resumes. We had a quick, here and there. And they were just like, we don't really know dick about bars. And Brian and I were like, well, we're not exactly consultants, but we have experience. We know what we like. We know what works. And we would be more than delighted to help it get going. And they were like, we kind of want to do cocktails. And I'm like, my dick got hard. I was like, yes. I'll make cocktails for you. They let me do anything. It's awesome. And I know what the price points are. I know what sells there. I know what people like. So it's been awesome. And a lot of it I can source from the kitchen, which makes me very excited for sustainability's sake. You know, Charlie made me a list of all the shit that normally gets thrown out. And I'm like, okay, I know I can work that in because flavor-wise, this will work. So yeah, Brian and I, like, he's behind the bar twice a week. Those are the days that I'm in the back making pierogi. It is fucking exhausting. My hands and my fucking back are constantly like sore, but you know.
Is he as into cocktails as you are?
Not really, sorta. He's starting to. He's starting to come up with his own riff ideas, which is awesome. And it's more like he'll just shoot my videos and like he'll help me with stuff, you know. He'll run and get me ingredients last minute if I need it. But I feel like he could be. It's just he's more into like just playing WoW and running, you know, D&D campaigns in WoW, which is awesome. He has his own like crew and everything. But yeah.
Well, Sarah, the drink was amazing.
Thank you.
It fucks, as they say.
It does fuck,
yeah,
right?
It fucks hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a cigarette right now. After that.
I didn't know you smoked.
Nice. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me sit down and talk with you. It's been dope because now we got a chance to like actually like chill out and drink and hang out for a bit. And I'm gonna get sappy. I'm gonna thank Blair and Leanne.
Yes.
Two people who I feel like don't get enough recognition in the city because I think they do a whole lot for bartenders and they do so much for the whole scene, from tastings to conventions to tours to all this jazz. They truly care about how Columbus looks in the bartender scene, what goes on, making sure things are staying current and knowledge is getting out there, and more so they like love the people, which is always like the people that work in the scene. So
so if I can segue from that, here we are going into a second lockdown. How can we help support you two and the whole industry? What can our listeners do to help support you guys?
You got me. I don't know. That's a good idea.
Like carry out? Or...
Carry out. I think like what you guys did before too was just super nice, highlighting everyone that was on your tours.
Yeah.
That really just like brought light. And I'm sure like people who scroll through and like saw like this was from our tour here would be like, oh yeah, let's go try that out. So I think like now it's just kind of like, bringing exposure to those places who are going to be struggling with this stay-at-home advisory, and like carry out's just going to be the thing now, you know.
If you're comfortable dining out, come through, you know.
Yeah.
I can tell you at Pierogi we have partitions at every table. When we do seat bar, there's always more than 6 feet between parties. Because it's a long bar. And we have that like air filtration system. So we have that running constantly. Filters out the air.
Awesome.
Much quicker than like a typical system would. You know, and if you're not comfortable, carry out. And a nice tip on that. Not to the driver, but to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one thing I would beg you guys, listeners, if you really love a place and you love their food, and I know it's annoying having to go pick it up. I completely understand convenience, but if you order through Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash, Uber Eats, they take a fat percentage away from the restaurant. And I understand if you're like stuck at work and you really want food, I get it. Like, but if you're at home and you're hungry and you're just like, I don't feel like going anywhere, I get it. If you really care about that restaurant, please order through them directly. Call them, do it on their like whatever their system is. Go pick it up.
That's a great point.
Yeah. You have no idea how much it means to us. Like at Pierogi Mountain, we use Upserve, and you can order through our website or through Facebook. And it means the fucking world to us when you guys like order directly through us. Like I will fucking buy you guys shots and beers. I do. Like every time somebody has come in and been like, you know, I didn't feel like driving out here, but like, I love y'all. I'm like, all right, cool. Shots, beers, to-go cocktails on me. I get them for half off. I don't care. I want you to know how much it means to me that you came in here yourself, because you have no idea how many asshole drivers who come in with their nose out. Their fucking disgusting nose. And I have to yell at them. And I don't like to yell. Don't make me get mean. Come on. Like, I'm a very nice girl. I just look like a bitch. So like, if you come in with your nose out, I immediately say, please pull it up. Just
Masks
like that.
are not so difficult.
They're really not.
They're
You
not,
spend most of your time in a fucking car. You didn't spend $30 on steroid cream for your lips because your lips are chapped and swollen like mine for the last 6 months. Fuck you. Wear your mask. So, you know, when you, like last night, I reported this asshole driver who tried to argue with me about pulling his mask over his nose. And shout out to Grubhub. Thank you. Because I called Grubhub, 5-minute phone call. They said, all right, we are very sorry. And I was like, it's okay. I understand. You can't really vet who you know. I'm letting you know this motherfucker was a problem. They said, you want us, you know, to ban him from coming to your location? I said, yes, please. I don't want him in here. And he's a hazard. He's going to argue with me. He can get fucked. Get the fuck out of here, you know. So just if you got to order delivery, I understand. Support your businesses that you love. And if you can, don't give your money to the outlying, you know, delivery services. If you can go and pick it up yourself, bless up. We love you. And if you do that at Pierogi and I see you, like, I'm gonna hook you up. I promise. Just you know.
Along similar lines
Appreciate
too,
you.
I think just eat local. You know, like
Eat
all the
local.
local businesses
Yep.
can use it. You know, whether it's food or something else. Like I think anyone right now who's just like a local business is hard up. So yeah,
Agreed.
eat local.
We're just trying to keep our heads above water, you know, because no one knows what's going to happen right now. All we know is we're not getting aid, but we're having things cut from us. And I spend most of my time trying really hard not to let the anger, you know, eat me alive, because I get mad, you know, because we all love each other. We all love each other's businesses. We all want to support each other, and we want our industry to, okay, thrive is not the word. That does not exist in the year of 2020. So we all just want to survive. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, any little thing you can do, it means the world to us, because we mask up and we go to work because we don't have a choice. And I'm not resentful. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'll come to you to get food because I want you guys to get the money, you know. So anything helps.
Well, we
wear a mask.
appreciate everything that you guys are doing
Hell yeah.
and helping us to continue to imbibe well.
Yes. That's all that matters.
So it's a great thing. I appreciate you both.
Thank you. for having us.
Last thing is, when are Blair and Leanne going to be interviewed on this podcast? Because I feel like we need to get to know
Can we
them.
do
You
that?
know, so
Can
they've
PJ and I
interviewed.
guest host?
Yeah.
Peach, come on.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
So everyone should comment if you want to see or hear, I should say, Blair and Leanne interviewed on this podcast. Because
Yes.
they're a face behind the city, and I feel like they got stuff to say too. So let's get them out here.
I have so many questions.
Or
for
I
you
guess they're
guys.
already here. We're literally in their house right now. So
Put them on the other side of the mic. On the other side of the mic.
That's
yeah,
kinda
on the
how
couch. Get them on the
That's right.
couch.
Get them
That's
on
kind
the
of how this
couch.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for the show, I guess. Thank you guys again for letting me host. Thank you, Sarah, for coming here and letting me ask you a bunch of questions.
PJ, you're my hero. Thanks for having me.
And yeah, everyone stay safe, eat local,
Yeah.
you know, love your neighbor.
Wear your mask. Wash your hands. We love you. We'll
Yeah.
get through this.
Cheers. Listeners, please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Seabus Craft Cocktail Tour, and visit our website at columbuscraftcocktailtour.com for cocktail tour dates, women and whiskey tastings, and other events and merchandise. Thanks to our producer, Greg Hansberry, and to the biographer for our original music. Please remember to drink responsibly, tip appropriately, and be cocktail curious. Cheers!
This has been a Last Call Productions production.